Hey everybody, this is Rycard here again, and boy, has it been a while since I made one of these videos. But today, I'm basically going to be showing you an original Gallade set that I promised I was going to do a while back, but never actually got around to. I have a video up on my channel, which this will be the video response to, of what I called an untraditional Gallade sweep, because I basically made this set to be not exactly what you would normally see a Gallade do, but it turned out to be really effective and something I really want to share with you all. So, without further waiting, let's take a look at Gallade's typing, abilities, and stats. So first off, Gallade sports the very unique Psychic Fighting typing, which gives it some really good stab coverage, weaknesses to Flying and Ghost, and resistances to Fighting and Rock. It only gets 2 abilities, unlike some other Pokemon which get 3, but they're Steadfast, which increases your speed every time you flinch, and Justified, which is its Dream World ability, which increases your physical attack every time you're hit by a Dark-type move. As for the stats, you can see just from the numbers here that it has 2 very glaring stats which you can see right away, which are its physical attack being 125 base and special defense being 115 base. Now normally people only focus around that 125 attack, but for the purposes of this set I'm actually going to be focusing more around the special defense that this Pokemon gets. As for its others though, you can see that they're pretty subpar in terms of their numbers. Having 68 base HP really doesn't give you a lot, and 65 base defense really doesn't give you a lot for that set either. Glade's never been much of a special attacker, because if you want a special attacker you can just use Gardevoir, and its speed is okay. 80 base speed is pretty good. It's not the best in the world, but it's still good on a Gallade. And for this set, since we aren't really going to be wanting to make Gallade into a powerhouse of some kind that will just be maxing out speed, having that 80 base speed is quite alright for the purposes of this video. But overall, it does have very good attack and special defense, and the other stats can be somewhat remedied with the use of various EVs and how you put them in. But let's just get into the set right now that I wanted to show you, and if you've seen my video before, you pretty much know it's on it, but maybe not the more specifics of it. So let's take a look. So first off for the set, we're going to be giving Gallade an Impish nature to increase its physical defense but lower its special attack. Now, while this isn't much of an increase in terms of the numbers on its physical defense, it still is somewhat necessary to allow this set to be effective because, as you can see from the stats before, its physical defense really isn't the best in the world. As for its ability, we're going to be going with Steadfast, and while this is great because we can, increase our speed every time we flinch, it's actually completely necessary because if we did go with its Dream World ability, which I don't even think is released yet, we wouldn't actually be able to use 2 of these moves in combination, so Steadfast is the ability we have to go with. As for the EVs, we're going to put 172 into HP, which will give you a nice rounded 320 HP total, maxing its defense with 252 EVs and a special defense, and then giving it 88 speed EVs to allow it to outspeed anything with a 90 base speed or lower without any speed investment. As for the item, we are going to be going with leftovers to allow it to recover HP a little bit every turn, and there really isn't any other good item for this set except maybe for a Lumberry if you're a little bit worried about status. But as for the moves, the first one we're going to go with is Will-o-wisp, and the reason why having Will-o-wisp on Gallade is so great is because it has massive special defense, so having Will-o-wisp to basically counter that by lowering your opponent's physical attack is like an excellent combination. That's why, with the Impish nature, and even though it does have not that great physical defense, it can still take physical hits if it gets off a Will-o-wisp, which is really good and something that both Gallade and Gardevoir really benefit from. It's really unique to their breeding pool thing, which I think is really cool. But up next, we're going to be going with Drain Punch, and this is kind of one of the most important moves on the set because it'll allow Gallade to recover HP every turn, every time he uses this move. While, he isn't putting a lot of EVs into attack, actually we're not putting any, its attack is still really good because it did have that base 125, so Drain Punch will be doing a decent amount to any Pokemon that doesn't resist it. Also, to round this off, we're going to be going with Psycho Cut so that we aren't limited into what we can do damage to. Psycho Cut is good because obviously it's another stab option. It does have a higher critical hit ratio, and it'll allow us to hit ghost types, which we wouldn't be able to do with just Drain Punch. The only problem with this move coverage is Pokemon with the dark ghost typing like Sableye and Spiritomb, because they are immune to both of these moves. So if that ever comes up, you just probably want to switch out to something else. But overall, this type coverage and the moves that you're using for your attacks, Drain Punch and Psycho Cut, work really well in combination with each other and help keep Gallade alive while it's basically annoying the heck out of the team with will-o-wisp and its high physical attack. Also, to round off this set, we're going to be running Confuse Ray, and this is something not a lot of people use in competitive play, and I think that's kind of silly because it's such a great move. Um, I can't tell you how many times I've played, the storyline and been confused raid by like a billion Golbats in my career of playing Pokemon, and it's annoying. But it's really good because it's annoying, and using it against your opponent will really annoy them, and thus make this set even more difficult to deal with. Plus, if you can get will-o-wisp and Confuse Ray working in combination with each other, they'll just be taking damage every turn. The only weird thing about this set, which I guess can reduce its effectiveness, is that Confuse Ray deals damage to you based upon your physical attack. So by will-o-wisping them, they'll be doing less physical damage to themselves, but either way, they're still not hitting you for a turn because they're getting confused. And with that, you can essentially get, free recovery with Drain Punch, or just, deal even more damage with Psycho Cut. It's a really, really good combination of moves on this Pokemon, and with its stats being so extreme in the special defense area, using it with will-o-wisp and all these other moves is just a really good option for Gallade, and something not a lot of people use because, as you can see, it's a really good physical attacker, but it also can be a pretty good special defensive wall, in my opinion. But that is pretty much it for this video. I'll pretty much leave it up to you all to just take a look at the sweep that I had with it, and see for yourself how this set works. I mean, it does involve a little bit of luck with Confuse Ray, but I think that's part of the fun in using it. But that's it for this video, everyone. So as always, take care and goodbye, and I will see you next time.